Hey, what's up, guys? Sean back with another video, and we have Has Fat Acceptance Gone Too Far? This is by a channel named Jen, and he tends to do like more hot button topics, I guess you would say. But he's taking all the controversial stuff and making videos about it. I usually stay away from fat acceptance just because I don't want to feel like I'm kind of attacking anybody. But at a certain point, there's like health and things you actually have to worry about. You can't just sit there and say, I'm 500 pounds and healthy, fabulous, my life's great, because then you're misrepresenting things to the youth of America, and a lot of people are going to fall into this trap where they think like, oh, I can live my best life this way, and you just can't. As somebody that was over 600 pounds, I will tell you, my life has improved dramatically from losing 314 pounds. I'm 291 as of like a couple days ago, so hopefully I'm a little lighter than that. But yeah, let's see what they have to say about fat acceptance.
Do you think fat shaming works?
I think so.
Yes, because they start thinking that it is okay.
I'm a fat bitch.
I'm just gonna keep eating. You can't tell me what to do.
Would you want to be fat?
Would I want to have more meat on my bones? Yeah, I'm flat everywhere.
Am I too much? Go find less.
You know what I think that proves? I think that proves that even skinny people can feel a certain way about their body. I don't think it has anything to do with people just being like bigger. Everybody has some kind of issue with their body. You just have to learn to love yourself for who you are.
So today I am asking, is it okay to be fat?
Yes, it's okay, it's common, it's regular, normal.
Yes, I mean, look at me. I'm a fat.
I don't think it's really okay to be fat because it's a lack of...
To be fair, from a straight man's perspective, I don't think too many people would have a problem accepting her kind of fat, but I'm just saying.
self-love.
I just love myself, and people love me because I love myself.
I'd rather have people love themselves, go to the gym, take care of themselves.
A few kilos more or less will not change me.
It has a lot of problems being fat because it is not healthy or good looking.
I think it's okay to be fat, but I wouldn't date a fit person, I think.
Is it okay to be fat?
Ooh, we found our first fat phobe. He don't like any... thick thighs save lives, buddy. You're missing out.
Of course.
You hesitated a little.
Well, because I don't think asking, is it okay to be fat, is a correct question to ask.
Is it even offensive to say fat person or like big bone person?
If they're comfortable in their body, then they're comfortable in their body. Anything that's going to hamper your arteries or anything like that, I don't know, it's not good.
I think it's not okay. It's not healthy at all.
According to my doctor, I'm fat. But if you look at the size of my legs,
You got mailman calves.
yeah, fat is such a generic statement. It's hard to...
I'm jealous of his calves, man. Those things are nuts. But also, like, you'll lose a lot of muscle after bariatric surgery if you don't start working out. So my goal is to put on as much muscle as possible right now, and I'm trying, man. I'm really trying.
to say yes or no.
I grew up in West Virginia, which happens to be the fattest state.
Were you ever fat?
The biggest I've ever been, I got up to 243. I woke up in the mirror, looked at myself at 243, bubbly, my hips hurt, my knees hurt, my ankles hurt. That moment there, I was like, this is not good. I don't like it. It's not for me. But if it's for you, I think you should get after it.
Damn, 243 is below my goal weight. That hurts my soul. Also, I'm just looking at the mannequin, but I went with my girl to get like new work pants. So we were at Maurice's, I think was the name of the store. She got so mad at me for smacking the mannequin on the ass. And I was just like, that mannequin's thick. And she was like, I can't take you in public, blah, blah, blah.
Whether it be through fat mannequins or plus-size models, the fat acceptance movement has advocated for body positivity for all shapes and sizes.
Women of all shapes and sizes do exist, and it's important that you see yourself represented.
Big girl summer has officially begun.
But with America's high obesity rates, we must question the importance of acceptance versus its consequences. But is it just
Also, it's Fat Boy Winter now, but Lizzo, isn't there some pretty nasty rumors going on around her? I can't respect you if you're sitting here screaming like fat and wonderful and then you're treating other people so nasty behind the scenes. But it's typically the people that act the nicest that have the most like demons or things to hide. Ooh, sorry, choking on my words.
easy for me to say because I played sports my whole life? And more importantly, isn't acceptance the first step to self-improvement? Guess we gon' see. Can you be healthy and obese?
That's tough, you know?
You know, you can be healthy and still be bigger.
These big wrestlers in Japan, I forgot their name.
Oh, sumo wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like they're strong.
Like I play volleyball, I play soccer, I was a competitive cheerleader. So I think it all encompasses in what you're able to do.
I'm not a doctor. I probably wouldn't want to answer that at all.
Let me ask you this then, like what does it mean to be healthy?
Well, mental health is very important, and also physical health, of course.
I don't think anyone's purely healthy. You're able to have healthy tendencies. I have a brother who...
Okay, so mental health, yeah, a lot of people struggle with that. I mean, That's probably, to me, the most important form of health. If you're not healthy mentally, you can't be healthy physically, right? But at the same time, like, I will say that you can show healthy signs, but later in life, it catches up to you. Like, I'm 34, you know, I'm not going to get any better from this point on. So I'm just working on being the best me I can be moving forward.
Who was a athlete who was an alcoholic. So I think it just depends on the tendencies you choose to focus on.
So I wanted to know, isn't health more than just the weight on the scale? Health isn't just about physical appearance, right? There's also things like mental, spiritual health. Do you think you can just say that just because you're fat, you're not healthy?
If you're fat, emotional, you won't be good, you know, because you feel bad. Your clothes doesn't fit. It is horrible.
Were you ever fat, like, in any time of your life?
Like 6 months ago, I was fat.
What does that mean?
I got cancer and I was on medicine, hormone therapy. Even cancer is a problem because of weight, you know?
Now let's dig further and see what the other side would say. America,
I don't know about that one. I was going to say, when was she ever overweight? But yeah, if she was just fighting cancer, I could imagine the chemo took a toll on her. I just lost my grandfather to cancer. I mean, it took a hell of a toll on him. But at least I was able to carry him back into his house so he could at least pass it home. I felt good doing that.
Has a really big push for body positivity and fat acceptance. It's okay to be fat. It's healthy to be fat.
I don't support that.
Why?
I think it's okay to accept your body, but if it's like health concerning, going on the internet and saying I'm so happy with myself, I'm sorry, I don't believe you.
I don't think that you should shame people. I don't think that you should just say, hey, that's okay. You know, it starts out as accept me and then help me, but then it moves into, no, just accept me. I'm just gonna keep eating. You can't tell me what to do.
They think that, oh yes, it is okay to be fat, let's eat more. I don't think it is a good idea to make that movement.
I agree with that movement and I like it and I think it's okay because not everybody looks the same way. Sometimes you're not fat and some people call you fat. Yeah, it's not okay. I was a ballet dancer and I quit because of that, so imagine.
It's great for people.
I think it's true that not everybody looks the same, of course. Everybody's going to have different things about their body they dislike. But in like the pursuit of more inclusivity to different body sizes, we're kind of just screaming like accept me while excluding other, like, I don't know, in the search of like inclusivity, we're excluding more people from the conversation and everybody's just kind of turned into a hate mob back and forth. It's kind of disgusting.
To feel good, but I would rather like promote more healthy stuff than seeing models that are fat. We accept this as the norm. I don't think that's a good thing.
And when media has the power to shape culture, it's worth examining what's being shown.
I think there is a trend now of glamorizing morbid obesity.
So good.
I can do things while being fat, and if I were to die tomorrow, I wouldn't regret it. I am fat, and there's no shame in it for me.
Now look,
people I don't trust. Tess Holiday, Virgie Tovar, and the cake-related fat-phobic incidences. And then just anybody who's sitting there that's in the morbid obesity category saying, like, I'm perfectly happy. There's something behind that. I just don't trust you, so I can agree with that.
Influencers have always existed, from Jesus to traditional celebrities, and now micro-influencers. And so with social media, we can now connect with people in any niche that speak to us in our viewpoints, including fat influencers.
You are beautiful just the way you are. No one owes you their body.
And on the surface, it's a message that most of us can get behind, of self-love and acceptance. But on the other hand, is this a message that's contributing to the obesity epidemic? Have body positivity symbols trap themselves and their audience in their own message? For years, Adele has been known as one of the most successful musicians of her generation. And it so happened that not only was she known for her talents, but also viewed as an icon of body positivity.
I don't want to be some skin.
I love Adele, actually. Her music slaps. I don't care. Like, I typically only listen to rap music or like rock music, but I'll listen to some Adele.
Mini with my tits out. I'm just writing love songs.
But on May 2020, after posting an IG pic of her significantly losing weight, some of her fans started accusing her of betraying the body positivity movement, even when it wasn't her intended brand.
So many women were mad when Adele lost all that weight.
I was body positive then and I'm body positive now. But it's not my job to validate how people feel about their bodies.
And it's not just Adele. From Jonah Hill to countless others, losing weight was like a stab in the back.
Jonah Hill's weight has been talked about as much as his movies.
It is a big deal. People are obsessed with it.
And so the same people that are advocating.
Isn't it kind of crazy you can get like canceled or a hate mob against you just for trying to better yourself? Like, hats off to both of them. They look like they killed it. They look great. they should be happy, but then people are mad at them. That's just nuts, dude.
For body acceptance of all shapes and sizes are the same ones calling betrayal for losing weight. Do you think a culture of fat openness creates a population of more fat people?
Fat people will always also have these insecurities. That's why they build a community where they push and support each other. As I said, if it's health concerning, I don't think this movement should be like too strong.
So has the movement become too extreme?
I actually feel kind of guilty for being a part of this movement, being a pioneer in this game. Like, I literally was one of the first influencers to work with Fashion Nova before they even had a plus size line. But let's be for real. Health is real. Diabetes, heart disease, all that is real, okay? It's not fat.
Yeah, the diabetes will catch you slipping, but I mean, coming out and saying later on, like, I think it's a good thing that you just come out and say, like, look, you need to take care of yourself. I think it's the most damaging to, like, young kids and stuff, man. When they're coming up and they're like, man, I just want to accept myself, love myself. Of course you need to do that. But at the same time, you can try to, like, pursue self-improvement.
Phobic to care about your health. And if somebody's telling you that, it's because they're miserable and they want you to die and stay fat like them.
Because if questioning the issue is seen as an attack, does it suggest that more of the focus is on resistance to change rather than acceptance? But if it is about acceptance, has the message at least been consistent for everyone? Do you think there are different body standards for men and women?
Women have this different connotation than men have. Maybe it's more acceptable for a man to be larger than a woman.
For example, like a girl might say, like, I will never date someone that's shorter. Or let's say if a man says, I'll never date someone over this weight.
My husband's tall and some people have shorter boyfriends. Kind of all depends on what you want in life.
Would it be rude if like men started saying,
here's the problem. You can't change being short. Like, I had somebody get really mad at me because I kept saying I was tall, but it matters in the comparison of, like, how your body stores fat. So that's, like, a big thing. But now they have that new surgery where you can, like, turn into Wolverine and put some metal things in your shin. They break your legs and make you, like, 2-3 inches taller, which is nuts to me. But if you want to be an X-Men, go for it.
Saying like, I won't date girls over a certain weight?
I think physical attraction is important just as much as an emotional attraction.
I don't really see like fat models for guys. We always have the standard of the jacked dude.
Men have a lot of pressure now to look good, but when it comes to sexuality, why am I a hoe if I like to and you guys are the kings and I'm the hoe? I think this double
100% confirmed. She's an OnlyFats girl. She's gotta be, like, I think I might have seen her on another website. Not snitching on myself, but she might have been on there. This is not confirmed, so we'll see. I don't know.
standards. Oh my god, this pissed me off so much.
Do you think there's different body standards between men and women?
100%. Right now we have a big trend for the dad bods. So my wife says, no, it's great. But then if you look at a woman who might have the mom bod at just given birth, people shame them for the way they look.
That's actually an interesting point. I've actually heard more of like the reverse, in the sense that there's a lot of like, let's say, plus size models that are women, but not really like plus size models that are for men.
I would counter that with,
I don't know about the mom bod thing, because ever since American Pie came out and they were like Stifler's mom, like that's kind of been in. Step bro, can you help me get unstuck? Like stepmom, like that's all over everywhere.
how many male models do you see versus how many female models do you see?
So I wanted to ask an actual plus size model, why? Why do you see a lot of like plus size modeling for girls, but not like plus size modeling for men?
I think, to be honest, some people fetishize fat girls.
You don't think there's any fetish for like fat dudes?
Just met a fat dude yesterday and he was cuter than his friend. But you know, I'm very demanding in the bedroom and I think they need that stamina. Because I don't have a lot of...
God, she is very open with this stuff. Also, I did have a guy email me and tell me that he was recently a feeder, and if I needed to know anything about that kind of whole whatever, like, he could get me very informed on it and tell me, but he has since reformed, and he's no longer ho-dowing the ho-hos, you know what I'm saying?
condition, so the guy has to do the work.
And so it made me think, is it better to discourage people from being overweight or to fully accept it despite its potential consequences? Well, I'm curious. So, you know, you say that it's very important for people to demonstrate, you know, like self-care and not being fat. Do you think then fat shaming is a good way to promote people to be fit?
I feel it's not the best way to go about it. If you use other methods, they can be more mindful about the eating patterns, fitness, and all that stuff.
Every time you attack someone on their physique, not a good way to go about things.
Well, you're telling me off camera you lost 45 pounds. What made you want to do that in the first place?
People around you are in shape, and you just can't lose sight of that.
So your environment.
Or if you're a guy, you just want to see your wiener. Like, there's a good reason to lose weight and try to get rid of your stomach. But I don't think shaming anybody, it could have the total opposite effect. Everybody's going to be different. Some people respond to things this way. Like, I can get real petty. Somebody tells me something. Like, I will do things to piss people off. If they come at me, I'm coming back at them the same way. Like, whatever drives you, right?
Not only influences your actions, but also your trajectory. And when that's the case, we're both influencing and influenced by the people we spend the most time with. And so when your actions can directly impact the people closest to you, it may be a different way to explore whether it's okay to be fat. Well, let me ask you this. What would you do if your kids are fat?
I think it's like a problem. It's like a disease.
Disease?
You cannot live like that.
Would you want your kids to be fat?
No.
What would you do if they are?
Like exercise is like a big part of my life.
But I thought you can't really like force someone to change though, right?
Well, they are my kids, so I can do whatever the I want.
Imagine if my mom was like, you're fat, and left me in a box, like, take this poor kid or something. No, I mean, there's a right way and a wrong way, probably to encourage your son. You know what my mom said to me the other day? She said, like, I realize now that I fed you too much, da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, no shit. That's exactly what I said back, and then she just kind of laughed at me.
When one person's unhealthy habits can enable another person's, it's easy to see how influence begins. So if culture can shape behavior, what impact can shaming have on the larger population? What is like Mexican culture like in regards to being fat?
Bullying to the fat people. The parents doesn't like you to be fat. My son, he's a great singer, but sometimes I say, oh, you have to be thinner to be, you're like an image. So,
and at least according to her, there's a bit of shaming in Mexican culture. But at the same time, Mexico is one of the fatter countries in the world. Well, what is French culture like when it comes?
I'm saying Mexico got them full sugar Coca-Colas and some damn good food. So Mexican culture do be getting up there, but hats off to you guys. Your food is amazing.
To fat people.
So I grew up fat, not really fat.
Chunky.
Yeah, my brothers called me like the Michelin.
The Michelin man.
And that stuck with me like for a long time. And I think that's one of the reasons why I went to exercise a lot.
Well, so let me dig into that. That seems like fat shaming worked.
I think so.
Michelin man is a wild thing to call somebody. But I think my mom called me King Tut, Shawnee Poo. What else did she call me, man? Sometimes she called me asshole. Like, there were some good ones in there.
And in countries like Japan, we've seen even more drastic measures of shaming.
Big bellies in Japan are suddenly bad news.
The Metabo law enacted in 2008 requires employers to measure their employees' waist circumference to prevent metabolic syndromes caused by obesity to identify those at risk. And it aims to encourage healthier lifestyles and participation in health management programs. And even as a developed society, Japan is one of the least fat countries. So I wanted to dive deeper.
That's a good idea. Why don't we make any of us do the YMCA dance in the middle of like our lunch break or something? You guys should be dancing in your damn office right now.
Into how different levels of acceptance has impacted different countries around the world. Where are you from again?
Argentina.
France.
I'm from Iran.
Okay, let me ask you, in Argentina, are there a lot of fat people?
Not much. Our food is not as fast food as in America.
There's not as many obese people in Iran as I see when I go to Vegas. Everything in US, the portion size is just like overloaded. So, but back home, more organic stuff and people eat with family, so it's more enjoyable.
So I think it's a
portion size definitely our problem here in the US. I think because I had no idea what a proper portion was until I actually started like keeping track of that stuff. But also other countries, they walk everywhere, they're more active. We just jump in a car or Uber Eats everything. We've gotten really lazy here in the US. Things are good for us right now, so we're just getting more and more lazy.
a cultural thing. In New York, for example, I was with another plus size girl. We were walking on the street and every 5 minutes, wherever you go, they were like, hola, señoritas, Europe, where I am from, they like slim girls, but I think in most of the US parts, they like them fat and juicy, thick.
Why do you think a lot of people in America are fat, juicy, and thick?
Because honestly, the food is really shitty, and then the good food, healthy food is so
showed what was that, Foodie Beauty? I can't believe they showed her. Oh my god, that's insane. She made a cameo in this. Check that out. But also, as far as catcalling, I think you women should catcall us more. Like, that would be a lot of fun if you walk down and you're like, how's it hanging, handsome? You guys should start saying that to more men. Because like, some guy's going to come back with some smart ass response, but you should do that more.
So fucking expensive, so people eat unhealthy.
As opposed to France, where of course there is like fat people, but way less like in terms of percentage.
You're trying to say that American food's bad?
American.
It is. And over again, what we see is an obvious link between what you eat and how fat you are. In that if you want to lose weight, you might want to put that cheeseburger down, you fat f***. But what we see is that the food and health system in America goes a lot deeper than that. And as always, the key is to follow the money.
Our food environment doesn't match what humans are meant to eat.
A lot of people don't even know what processed foods are. Every system is built on these food lies because it makes them money. It's the profits in the processing. Cheap processed food made corn, wheat, soy, like chicken nuggets, ready-to-go meals, a huge profit market. You grow meat, fish, eggs, vegetables. There's not a lot of profit margin in that. The big processed food companies.
I do think that all our food is becoming more and more processed, and it's a problem. Like, if you go over to the UK, they're not letting you put in any, like, yellow 51, blue 42, like, blue if I was green I would die, like, dabba-dee-dabba die. But yeah, they're not letting you do that. I actually thought that's what that song said when I was a kid, like, if I'm green I would die.
They have all the money. Now they can do lobbying, marketing. Most of the industry research out there is funded by these big food companies.
I find something very disturbing about that. And when most of our food system is producing processed foods, we become so accustomed to
Look away, vegans. I did not mean for you to see that. I'm so sorry. It wasn't me. It was Purdue. They did it all.
the effects that we don't even realize it until we go somewhere else.
For the past 10 days, I've been in Italy and I've eaten nothing but meat, cheese, pasta, and pizza. And you know what? I felt fantastic.
I ate like absolute shit and didn't work out, and I never felt healthier.
It turns out the EU has way stricter food regulations than the US. They don't allow as many preservatives, additives, or GMOs. I think we're literally eating poison here.
And with our system incentivizing providers to treat illnesses and diseases rather than prevention, it makes you wonder, is the system set up to keep people sick and treat patients as subscription customers to maximize profit?
Oh boy, Dr. Sexy came into this too. We got Foodie Beauty, the Fat Avenger. We got everybody in this thing. This is a good old little documentary here.
The whole medical system is not a wellness system, it's a sick care. All of this is based on money.
Because even with the US spending by far the most on healthcare out of any country, then why are we one of the fattest?
Disease is probably the biggest business in America. Obesity, cancer, it's all monetary, you know? You get within this
system of
care and you get stuck there, you know? You become reliant on that. One pill creates another symptom that you get on another pill for and another pill, you know? I think the best thing you can do for yourself is take care of yourself.
So do you think that America is promoting this culture of fatness to get more patients in the door?
I wouldn't doubt it for a second.
So when the issue is,
I wouldn't put it past anybody, but I think Americans, we just love easy. Like, if you don't have to cook, if you can grab something, you can do this, do that. We go for the easy route, and coming home after working all day and then sitting there preparing like a nice healthy meal is a lot of people's last choice, like, because they're tired, right?
not just about laziness, but a system that is feeding you unhealthy options, then what is the solution? What do you think is like the right balance between acceptance and improvement?
You have to accept the people who choose the way they want to be. And for the improvement side, you just have to be there to support the people who want to make improvements. You can't just force your beliefs on someone, and you can't force someone to make a change.
Because the first step to improvement is acceptance. And more importantly, deciphering if you're deluding yourself from working towards improvement in the name of acceptance. Because if there's even a tiny whisper inside of you that's telling you should be doing more and that you don't want to be fat, then you're settling.
Maybe look yourself in the mirror.
That's true. There's a lot to be said about that. Like, a lot of people just want to sit there, but if you start preaching, like, I'm not trying to preach to anybody. Trust me, if you're happy at your weight, be happy at your weight. Love yourself. But at the same time, like, you could want to be a better you and still love yourself. That's perfectly fine.
Mirror a little bit.
Just be honest to yourself.
Just be honest with yourself.
Because the moment you start looking inwards, you can start changing your reality. And what used to be your insecurity can now become one of the best reasons for wanting to improve. It's why the lonely outcast nerd creates a social network. It's why the misunderstood comedian wants to make people laugh. And it's why the person who works out consistently year after year was once the fat kid. And it's when we start embracing brutal honesty within ourselves and life is when we start uplifting others around us to do the same. And that's exactly.
I never would have guessed that he was overweight. Well done, man. You killed it. You look great.
The mission to explore the unfamiliar. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to see more content where I turn street interviews into investigative journalism. And if YouTube gets it right, you'll like this video too.
Alright, well that's Jen and his take on fat acceptance. I really enjoyed that. I think it was a very well put together video. I think he covered it in a way that didn't seem biased towards one side or the other. But yeah, I think there's just a lot to be said about it. I mean, fat acceptance is definitely going too far. Like, they want everybody just kind of to lick their boots and be like, you have to love me as I'm overweight. Oh, trust me, I could have been their damn poster boy at one point, but I want better for myself, and I think it's perfectly fine to say that. It's perfectly fine to want to be the best you can be. And yeah, that's it for this one. Alright, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.